This is VM Degree, and the title of this video is A Lie.
Here, we discuss storytelling techniques, as well as practical tips and tricks to help put your ideas on film and share your stories with the world.
This is VM Degree, I'm Corey Johnson, your host, and the reason that I said that the title of this video is a lie is not because we're not going to cover how to make professional video for less than $500, is that there's a lot of videos on YouTube that bear titles like this, and they're all really gear-centric. The nitty-gritties of camera work, or microphone, or lighting. All of those things are important, but we wanted to make this episode because we want you to get past the idea of cameras and lights and equipment. Storytelling is so important, and those are the tools you're using to do it, but that's all they are. The real skill comes from you as an artist and your ability to tell the story. The thing that will make or break your final story is not the tools that you use to make it, it's the person who's telling the story, who has the experience, the passion, and the desire to make that into something important. And it turns out, in the storytelling situations where you have everything that you need to do besides the equipment, the camera is the least important thing. This is our way of saying these tools are not as important. You can create something beautiful on as little as $500. If you have more money to spend, if you have a bigger budget than $500, why would you want to limit yourself to only $500 worth of equipment? Well, when you spend all of your money or all of your time on acquiring more stuff, more gear, better equipment, what you're implying is that the most important thing to take your story to the next level is a better camera, or a better microphone, or a new set of lights. When in reality, you can take that same money and spend it on training or experimentation time away with yourself to figure out how to tell stories better. So the reason we wanted to show how to do professional video for less than $500 is not just because we want to cater to the people who have small budgets. Those of you who have more money, great. Spend it in places that are more important than cameras and lights, because you could probably get a better product by learning how to do something better than by buying a new camera. We wanted to create an episode about a budget gear setup because we wanted to change your mindset. We want you to get past the gear and focus on communicating your message, building an audience, finding your target market, and creating content that matters, things that you're passionate about and you care about. And we wanted to show you how to do it on such a small budget so you could get your mind past that and move on to what's important. So if you have more money to spend, great, spend it. That'll only increase the quality of your videos. But first, make sure you've taken the time or spent the necessary money to get training and experiment so that you can create the messages you want to be conveying. But if you are on a budget and you only have about $500 to spend, the truth is the camera is probably the least important thing, because we're at a point where we're dealing with the law of diminishing returns. And that says that sure, as you spend money to a certain point, each time you spend more money, the quality of the product you're getting is better and better until you reach a certain point. And then it takes lots and lots of extra money to have just a marginal improvement on the final quality of the picture. And that's kind of where we are. For example, the camera that we're using costs about $3,000, but this camera costs about $300. And this is my phone, and it's not even that fancy a phone. The difference between a $300 camera and a $3,000 camera is a lot of money, but the image quality isn't getting that much better. And that's how we've put together our entire budget build. We've tried to find that point where you're spending just enough money to get the highest quality possible without having to spend extra money for only marginal improvements. But we're putting ourselves intentionally on a really tight budget because that $500 is exactly what we think it takes to purchase our way into professional quality video without spending a single unnecessary dollar or a single unnecessary minute on the stuff that doesn't matter, and focusing instead on the things that you really care about. There's lots of other ways that we could be using that money, even if only to pay ourselves for some time off to go experiment with the cameras that we purchase. So again, it's not actually about the gear. It's about spending the bare minimum so that you can be free to find your own story. Because when you have a story that really matters to you and people who really want to listen, in that situation, the camera you have is the least important thing. And saying that, I can kind of already hear the internet getting mad at me. But I did promise you a professional setup for less than $500. So let's put the counter on the screen and get started. The most important component of any video production setup is the sound equipment. The standard setup for sound equipment is an audio recorder and a microphone. Replace the audio recorder with a laptop and use a free software Audacity, then we don't need to purchase anything. And the microphone just needs to plug into the computer using USB. My favorite USB microphone is Blue's Yeti microphone because it has onboard controls, a headphone jack, and it can be put on a microphone stand or boom pole. The Yeti only costs $130, so we can put that on our counter. The next thing you're gonna wanna worry about is lighting, and you can go one of two routes. You can either build lights for really cheap, but you have to have the know-how, or you can purchase some lights. As long as it's bright, and if you're planning on shooting people, it needs to be very soft. You can find these kind of lights on Amazon just by typing softbox into the search bar. The lights I've chosen are from Cowboy Studio because you can get 3-point light setup using softboxes that are very bright, very soft, and they use CFL bulbs, which can be easily replaced or changed. That's gonna put another $130 on our counter, and it's gonna take us to cameras. For cameras, if you're able to save a little bit of money by building your own lights, or if you're willing to spend just a little bit more than $500, I highly suggest Sony's A300. It has removable lenses and has most of the settings that you would find on a professional DSLR. But since it doesn't strictly fall into the $500, we're not going to include it on our list. We're going to suggest you go for something even smaller and cheaper like the Panasonic HD-C. And finally, you need to add some software. Finishing off our list and taking us to $500, you're going to have to buy a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud so you can put it all together. We did it. First off, I want to let you know that none of the products we mentioned endorse this episode. We're not being paid to recommend them. This is our honest to goodness list how you can create professional video for $500. So what did you think? Did you like our list? Do you like the idea of moving past the gear so that you can focus on the story? Or did you think we totally missed the boat? Let us know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe to our channel. You can find me on Twitter here, or you can come join the conversation on Facebook.